All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Get Back channel. My name's Daniel, and this is going to be the WWE Night of Champions review, analysis, breakdown of the show. Literally just finished about 15 minutes ago. Literally just coming off of it. Hopped right into the recording. So we're going to go through each match, break it down, give a grade, see how my prediction went, and the overall kind of reaction and what to expect going forward after each match for each competitor. Overall, good card. I mean, each match did what it was supposed to do. I feel like um, a couple of surprises during and after matches, but I think relatively pretty calm card overall. What we expected it to be. Let's get right into it. We're gonna go in match order here. So we're gonna start with the men's King of the Ring final between Cody Rhodes and Randall Keith Orton. This was a good match. This was a really good match between the two of them. They have great chemistry. Randy Orton's a great worker. Cody Rhodes is a great wrestler, despite what everybody says. They're two professionals who know what they're doing and know how to get the best out of each other. Really good chemistry you saw between the two of them as well. So don't really have a problem how the match went when Randy Orton is such a great seller. I mean, if you're gonna take notes on the guy, take notes on Randy Orton. Um, really good stuff. A little bit surprising to see Cody kind of work as a heel during this match. These are two baby faces, so one of them had to work as a heel, and I predicted that it was going to be Randy because he has made the most sense. But I think having Cody work as a heel in this match and kind of not be the one to mount the comeback or be the one getting beat down and then controlling not controlling the match was kind of surprising and going after Randy's back, which was a non-face thing to do. So really interesting play on that part. And I didn't mind it. I think you know this is one of the very few starts on what I believe is going to be Cody Rhodes' heel turn in the near future. Don't know when that will be, but I feel like it's coming. It's been teased for a while, and I think this match just adds to it in that regard. Um, and even in the ending, when Randy exposes the turnbuckle and Cody just pushes him into it by accident, not was an accident, and then takes advantage right away and wins the match. Um, and even like the promo and the way he was staring at Randy kind of teases it a little bit, I feel like. But overall, I think it's a good setup match. Nothing too crazy. I mean, none of these matches were really that crazy for PLE. It is what it is, so didn't mind it. Um, yeah, I think overall this was a fine match. Really good stuff, really good ending. I think the right guy won, to say the least. I think it makes sense. You have Cena. I mean, you have Cody going into SummerSlam main event. You have to have that. You just have to. You can't keep Cody off the card, like I said in the preview. Um, and yeah, just for the overall final product of SummerSlam, it makes sense. So, and Randy will be fine. He'll pick himself up and he'll find something else to do. It's Randy Orton. You can't like he can eat the loss here and still be Randy Orton. So yeah, liked the match, liked how it went. Didn't mind the ending. Don't have a problem with the ending. The right guy won. Overall score, give it a B plus. I think that's fair. Nothing too crazy. Everything was pretty standard. Kind of good, great work by both men, and very surprising seeing Rhodes act as the heel in this match. But I think that's kind of going to be the change going forward. So overall, good stuff from the two. So we're going to move on to the women's, or not the women's now, to the women's street fight between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. In my opinion, arguably match of the night. Both women were surprisingly. Now, you know what? They weren't surprisingly fun because I did say Raquel Rodriguez has been doing a lot better, and she's had great matches the past couple of weeks on Raw, and her work has been really good. And Rhea's always been really good, and those two have great chemistry together. I said it during the prediction video. And look, I think they both proved me right. I think they were creative, they were fun, they worked well off each other. Roxanne was kind of a shoehorn addition, which didn't really need to be there. They were fine on their own, and the use of the table at the end was very creative and very unique. And the avalanche riptide off the table, off the top rope, was pretty fun. Um, and yeah, I think you saw just how good Raquel can be. Rhea's always going to be good. I think it was the right decision having Rhea winning. Obviously, uh, it's not the spot for Raquel to win. And overall, like I think it just sets Raquel up that she proves that she can be a singles wrestler going forward while Liv recovers. Or if they want to have her pair with Roxanne, she can do that. But I think it makes a lot of sense if Raquel kind of enter like the singles position in the IC picture, the women's IC title picture. I think it would make a lot of sense for that, and she can do it. She can hold it down. And yeah, I think she opened a lot of eyes to a lot of new people. But for me, she's been doing this the past couple of weeks, and since NXT, she's been really good. I think she's finally starting to get into her groove, and her and Ripley just have great matches all the time. So I'm not surprised by her. But yeah, it was a fun match. It was definitely a very very well paced, well organized. They hit all their spots, and yeah, it was just a really fun match between two women who know each other really well, have a good chemistry, who work together well. And I guess going forward, again, as I said before, I want to see Raquel maybe transition to a singles IC title push. It would make the most sense for her. As for Rhea, I think she probably fights Io at SummerSlam. I think that's the path they're going to go on. I think having her win here makes the most sense for that. We'll see, because I don't really know who else to put Io with for SummerSlam, and Rhea's probably going to be the big star in that division for SummerSlam, so it makes sense that it will be Rhea. Um, if it's anybody else, I would be surprised. I think Io and Rhea are gonna have the match at SummerSlam, so don't mind it. Great match. I give it a solid A. Again, I think the one like negative was just Roxanne just did not need to be in there. Roxanne's good. I don't have a problem with Roxanne. I just feel like you're kind of shoehorning her into stuff that doesn't need to be there. She didn't need to be part of this match. She could have stayed in the back. Um, and just kind of just adds unnecessary time that she didn't really contribute anything, and that's not good time. She came in, she stopped the pin, she ate a kick, got a trash can put on her head, and got kicked. I I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. So we move on to great match by two great women. We move on. Third on the match card was Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Here we go. All right. So I said in the prediction that I envisioned Kross winning, and this was a big test for Karrion Kross because it's his first real opportunity in a while to kind of prove himself. And he did. I feel like he wrestled a really good match. I feel like he didn't slow Zayn down too much. I feel like he did his own stuff really well. And Zayn was kind of able to contribute and not have to carry Kross through the match, essentially. Zayn's obviously the better wrestler of the two of them. But I think him and Kross work together really well here. And Sami, is really good. He's always going to be really good. And him winning kind of surprises me because I don't know how long. I guess like they want to get him off this feud with Karrion, which just seems weird. I either here's the thing with WWE and Triple H, either your feuds are too short or they're too long, and I feel like this could have went on a little bit longer. And I feel like if you just do it again, what's the point? They could do it again. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I would be surprised if they do after this. But I think Karrion just, really, really solid. Really, really did a good job here. Wasn't perfect, but I think he impressed a lot of people. I think he showed what he can bring to WWE ring. He's obviously over with a lot of the fans, especially after what happened at WrestleMania. And I think this was his first real, prove it situation. He did a good job. Again, probably not his best work, but a lot more improved from the past couple of months. If you go back and watch some previous Karrion Kross matches, but this was definitely a really solid match. Again, nothing too crazy, nothing too. out of the ordinary. Sane winning, made sense. I wonder for both men what happens next. We saw Sammy show up in the final moments of the main event, which we'll get to. So he might be part of that story, but for Carrion, I don't really know where we go from here. I feel like this is why the loss to me doesn't make any sense. Because I think, what do you do with him now? You know, I feel like there's a lot more you can get out of him. I think there's a lot you can get out of this feud with Sammy, and it just hasn't happened. So I don't know. We'll see. But it was a decent match. Nothing too crazy. Nothing to write home about. And overall, fun fun time. Sammy obviously is over with that crowd, and we'll see. We'll see what it leads for both of them going forward. I don't see what you can really do with Karrion Cross now with Sami Zayn. Maybe you can continue it, maybe, but I feel like it wouldn't make a lot of sense. But we'll see. WWE is known to extend feuds more than they need to extend them, so we'll see. Overall match grade. This is a solid like B minus. I want to give it because there were a couple of like slow moments, a little bit stiff, but overall was really solid. Um, yeah, I think B minus is a fair grade for this match. Moving on to the U.S. Championship between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Look, this match was pretty standard from both men. Fatu was gonna be, world champion by this time next year. I feel like. I think he's just that good, and I think once he's done with his feud with Solo, we will be he'll be moving on from to a bigger feud. I said in the prediction I thought Fatu would win, but I think this feud will extend for a long time after this match, and I feel like Fatu winning was gonna be the first step in that, but no, they gave it to Solo, and I think the vision is that they're gonna have Solo have the belt till probably SummerSlam, and Fatu will win it back at SummerSlam. They'll have their next match there, and we have not two new ones, but uh, we have one half of the Tongas coming back, which was great. Um, and Hakaleo joining WWE as a new member of the Bloodline. Hakaleo's decent. Kind of over on. Is it gonna take a while? It's gonna be a JC Mateo situation. It's gonna take a while for the WWE crowd to warm up to them. But they are good, and you can see this is just the regurgitated new Bloodline story playing out again. So we'll see what happens with Fatu. There's been rumors about maybe Jimmy and Jay teaming back up again and them forming the Usos again, going back into the tag team division, which I don't hate. I think that's not a terrible thing because the tag team division needs work and needs star power like that. So I wouldn't mind that. Whether it's with Fatu and that's going to be the SummerSlam, thing, I don't know. Um, and I truthfully like I don't mind it, but also am not crazy about it. Like I understand it, and like I see it working. But overall, like I just feel like you could do so much with Jay and Jimmy, but maybe that's run its course already. Maybe Roman comes back. Maybe they set up for War Games and it's Bloodline again, which I don't know how I feel about that. But I don't know. Like I think there's a lot of different paths that they can go on. Um, and yeah, I think it would make sense if it is like Jimmy and Jay coming back into the SmackDown Tag Team division and helping Fatu out. Um, and maybe somebody else comes back. I feel like that would make a lot of sense and that would kind of help the division a little bit. Um, just kind of bring it back up, and because the tag team division has been so slow, almost non-existent sometimes, that uh, Jimmy and Jay coming back would be a big plus and added addition to it. But we'll see. We'll see. Solo winning is fine. He's 3-0 in Saudi Arabia cards, which is kind of a crazy stat. Um, which I just realized when I was looking at it. But yeah, I think Solo. He'll have his new bloodline. He'll be in the mid card. He's perfect where he is. he'll feud with Fatu for a little bit more of a longer time. And again, like I said before, WWE has this thing where they love to either shorten feuds or keep them on too long. And I feel like we're getting to the territory this feud's going on too long, and we got to move on to different people. But we'll see. Um, yeah, I mean, I just feel like you could do more, and I mean, it's whatever. It's the mid card. Fatu is gonna grow out of it. Solo will stay in it, and we'll move on. So it's gonna be a fun match at SummerSlam. This match was fine. They hit all their usual spots. Solo did his usual style. New bloodline member, new bloodline member getting added. New character unlocked, pretty much like it's a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. But yeah, it was fine. I give this match C plus. Nothing too crazy. It did what it gets a passing grade. Did what it was supposed to. I don't agree with the winner, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it makes sense. So next up, we have Asuka and Jade Cargill for the women's Queen of the Ring final. Um, Asuka was out for almost like over a year. She has not missed a freaking beat. It's like she came back guns blazing. She was working with somebody who was almost twice her size, moving around like it was nothing. She's so talented. She's so good. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to be glazing. I love Oscar. I've loved her for a long time. She's such a great wrestler. She's such a dominant wrestler. She could work with anybody, no matter who they are. She could wrestle a freaking broomstick and put a 5-star match together and make it work. And like I know she didn't get the win here. I know that's not the big deal, but seeing her back and seeing her in WWE again and seeing her wrestle again is such a big plus. And look, Jade had a really big test here. Like this was something completely different than what Jade has been working with the past 6 months to a year. Oscar is such a technical wrestler, such a heavy striker, and I think Jade she did okay. I don't think there were too many issues that I saw. She didn't mess anything up, but you definitely said she was definitely Oscar was definitely giving the fight to her a little bit, and Jade just was trying to not keep up, but like there were times where you saw Jade kind of like trying to think of what she was supposed to do next, and Oscar was just moving so fluidly. Um, and yeah, I just feel like Jade was improved. Jade looked a lot better than how she looked the past couple of matches. She's been steadily getting better. This was a big test for her, and I feel like she's still kind of not at that level, keeping up with somebody like Asuka, but she's close. She's getting there, and I feel like her winning this made sense. It was the right move. Again, I said in the prediction, Asuka will be fine whether she wins or loses. I feel like Jade had to win it, and Jade and Tiffany had to happen at SummerSlam. Just made the most sense, and then probably Naomi Cashin is going to happen at SummerSlam if Jade wins, which she's probably going to win. It's my prediction right now. Spoiler. But I think Jade does win. Naomi Cashin is going to be the storyline going forward. And this is just the start of that, so it makes sense. We'll see what happens with Asuka. We'll see what happens. I think maybe she'll go back to the tag team division, which I would love, but I think it would make sense for now while she kind of buys her time with Rhea. Um, and yeah, I feel like it was the right move. It was a decent match. Two women are great. Um, and yeah, I mean, look, Jade's gonna be better. There wasn't much to say other than decent match. We move on. Both women are gonna be fine. We see what happens with Raw with Asuka, but I think Jade's path is kind of clear, and her winning Queen of the Ring makes sense. So moving on to the main event: John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Ooh baby, ooh baby. Where do I even start with this, dude? Like, where do I even start? Match was starting slow, which made sense. It was like a 30-40 minute match. So they paced themselves and they went at a decent pace. And this was seen as like, if I get this wrong, now I'm gonna get crap for it. But I think it's his technically fourth because he did the Rumble, the Chamber, Mania, and then now he did Crown Jewel, right? All Night Champions. Sorry. So this is like his officially fourth, like his second one-on-one match, like a wrestling match. Um, so it made sense they were trying to pace him. And Punk looked really good. Cena looked really good. They both hit their big moves, both hit their spots, both hit each other's finisher. And I'm not gonna lie, for a little bit, I thought, you know what, maybe they do have Punk win because when Punk kicked out of three AAs, I'm like, wait a minute here. Punk didn't hit a GTS yet. We're still waiting for that move to happen. So maybe they're doing something crazy. But WWE standard predictable does their thing, and then Seth interjects, which I kind of said could happen, but Seth comes down, they attack. We see a kind of false face turn by Cena, not really, but we see kind of shades of it. So maybe we could see SummerSlam. We could see a total shift between. Oh, by the way, Cena won. Sorry, between Cena and Rhodes, where Rhodes will go heel and Cena will turn face. So I could that'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that. And maybe Seth is the one who screws over Cody, and Seth takes the belt back. I could see that happening at SummerSlam. But everything here went standard. Uh, Typical Raw people came out. Penta and Sammy came to help take out uh, Breaker and oh no, oh no, what's his name? Oh no, Bronson Reed. There we go. I got there in the end. We see him take out Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. So I guess that's Sammy's path. He's gonna be now helping Punk. It's regurgitated Cody stuff with Bloodline, which is fine, I guess. Um, sure, whatever. But that all goes down. Um, Punk attacks. I mean, Seth attacks Punk. Cena takes advantage. Cena wins. Blah blah blah. I guess Seth and Punk is gonna be for SummerSlam. And here's my problem, right? And here's my problem with WWE right now. It's becoming too predictable, and we keep it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's kind of getting a little bit of a be a bad thing where we're just running a rotation of the same guys fighting each other every 2 to 3 months, right? It's like it's Seth versus Punk, it's Seth versus Cody, it's John versus Cody, it's John versus Punk, it's Cody versus Seth. You know, even in the women's division, it's Tiffany versus Nia, it's Tiffany versus it's it's Io versus Rhea, it's Rhea versus it's Rhea versus Judgment Day. You know, it's Sammy helping somebody out. It's Sammy. I feel like we're just regurgitating what happened the past 2 3 years with different people, but it's still the same path. And I feel like there needs to be and everybody's like, well, it's a big roster and you can continue to add to it. And there are talented people on this roster, but the problem is that they don't get their opportunities. They don't get their chance to shine. And people are like, well, they don't trust them. They don't trust it because we haven't seen it. The two greatest things that happened were with Seth feuded with Bronson Reed, and unfortunately Bronson got hurt, but he got over. And they were able to now get him in the storyline with Seth, and now you made Bronson Reed into a star. Same with Braun Breaker, right? And now what you're getting here is Karrion Kross is now starting to maybe he'll get involved now. He's getting more chances. But it's like you're regurgitating the same people because you know you'll get a cheer. And you're not taking a risk on some people who maybe who are lower on the roster who you don't think could do it. And I feel like you're not giving them a fair chance. But that's my complaint right now. But I just I hope after SummerSlam there is a big shift and we kind of get some fresh new ideas and fresh new stuff and people who are maybe faces should turn heel, people who are faces should turn or people who are heels should maybe turn faces. Just to kind of mix it up and change it up a little bit. I think that would be a good thing to have happen to WWE. But we move on. We get Punk versus Seth. We get Cena versus Rhodes. We'll do that when it comes out, but it is what it is. So, I mean, look, I didn't mind the match itself. The influx of interference was kind of surprising. Cena laying out Charles Robinson was also pretty funny. But it was, the guys hit their spots. Punk and Cena hit their spots. They hit their moves. Maybe it was a bit of a false tease to have maybe Punk win. False tease with Cena turning face. We'll see if that actually boils down to anything. But overall, fine match. B plus. It was predictable. It made sense. We move on. Whatever. But anyway, overall, I give Night of Champions. My new Night of Champions only had 2 title defenses on it, the U.S. title and the WWE title. So Night of Champions for sure. 2 champions. But anyway, I give the overall card. I mean, it was a solid watch. I mean, it's definitely fun and there are good matches and there are good moments. Solid B. Nothing too crazy. A little bit predictable. Kind of fun. That's kind of been the ML past couple of months. Um, but yeah, we move on. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you guys for listening and watching. The next, we're actually gonna do a double feature. I'll see you in 2 weeks when we do Saturday night's main event, which is gonna be Goldberg and Gunter main eventing, and even better than that, we're gonna have Evolution, the women's PLE, which is gonna be fantastic. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna do a preview for that as well. They might do them together, might do it in the same video. We'll see. But look out for that. That's gonna be happening in about 2-ish weeks. We'll see what the official timeline is. But yeah, look out for that. We're gonna have some content on that. Look, check out other stuff. We're gonna have the main videos, some baseball stuff, a lot of stuff coming onto the main channel very soon, and on the page. Check out previous videos as well. Make sure you check out all our social medias. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you do all that good stuff. Thank you guys for listening and watching. I've been Daniel. See you guys next time. Peace.